All right, good. Hello, welcome everyone. Akasha here. Blessings, blessings. I hope you had a beautiful and incredible, thankful week or gratitude week. And now we are in December. Oh my gosh, December of 2020. This is an incredible moment. It's the cherry on top of the year 2020. Not sure the exact word for 2020. But let me turn off my notifications. There we go. However, I know that it's an opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. My daughter who died told me that. And I learned to live into that and understand all the things that happen in our lives, up and down, what we perceive as good or bad, positive or negative. Everything has within it a gem. She said, look for the diamond. And so my life has become about solution seeking, about looking for what is the gift, what is the opportunity, what's the light at the end of the tunnel, what's the solution inside the problem, what is the doorway this is leading to me, how is this helping me to lift my head up out of fear, guilt, shame, old patterns, what other people think, and start to look into the vast, vast multiverse that we have here. My door is banging. I'm going to have to get up. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about this. But I have a big windstorm happening right now, and if I don't put something in, it's going to go bang, bang, bang the whole time. So excuse me. And so these are all opportunities, right? Our opportunities are all around us and within us. So regardless of whether you're going through what you may perceive as the scariest or most difficult moment in your life, with jobs, relationships, health, worry over other people, worry about the future, worry about the planet. Obvious reasons, very valid. If you wanted to go have an argument with somebody to prove your point that you have a million reasons to feel low vibrations, to be depressed, to be hopeless, to feel powerless, to be in survival and angry, and to believe this is the worst moment and things that are happening are bad, that's a choice you have. You need to understand what that choice will result in. What is the consequence, the result, the outcome, the reward, the future, the cake that you're baking? What ingredients are you putting in it when it comes out fully made for you? And we're in one of those moments right now in December of 2020. So we're going to dive in today to look at the mega big portals and events happening just this month as the cherry on top of the cake that we've baked. Now, there's been breakdown and uncertainty and disease and misinformation and anger and violence and protests, and there's been eruptions. And inside of you and me and every living being and form on the planet, we've been broken open. We've been erupted. What does that mean? That means all the old stuff that's deep inside of us that we're just carrying around lifetime after lifetime, year after year, weight or fear or lack or roller coaster with money or never enoughness or worrying what this person thinks or blaming that or being haunted by this or carrying around guilt, carrying around any form of a low state, whether it's blame or anger, whether it's regret or grief, whether it's fear or anxiety, all of these states, if you stay in them, if you choose them, that's the reality you're creating. And you've been experiencing that in the past, but you have never experienced anything about what's about to happen. And if you thought 2020 was a big deal, just hang on. You better want a seatbelt. But better than a seatbelt is getting mastery of your own emotions. Take your power back, accept who you are, pull back in all that energy you send out every day to the past, to the people who hurt you or betrayed you or abused you, right or wrong. I'm not saying it's okay. Somebody may have clearly done something wrong. Like I said in the beginning, there are clearly many reasons you could lay out in a courtroom to prove why you have the right to be upset, to be angry, to be blamed, to feel full of fear, to feel full of any of these low emotions because of what is happening right now. But it's a choice. So don't fool yourself and think, well, I can't help it, or it's because of my husband, or it's because of my family, or it's because I don't know what I'm going to do because I lost my job. If you lost your job, it's an opportunity. Okay? It's a massive communication from your higher self who knows your soul blueprint. It is your heart or your soul that knows your mission and your purpose and why you chose to be here in this moment. It's directing you. So we're all like, pull out all these old hooks and beliefs. They're all based on negativity and control and being a slave and worrying about what everybody else thinks is the hardest thing that I ever transformed. And yet when you do, and along the way, every step is worth it. It is freedom. It is like taking off a metal shackle when you no longer care what people think of what you look like, or did you dress up today, or did you work hard enough? Did this person like you? Did you say the wrong thing? I used to literally spend so much of my energy worrying like, well, that person had this look on their face. I wonder what it meant. I wanted to people please everybody. I wanted everyone to like me. I wanted to solve everybody's problems. I wanted to be better than everybody, but I ever thought I was better, but I had to achieve more and I had to be the best. And then maybe I would be good enough, but no, not really. This is what I call patterns, beliefs, soul contracts, vows, attachments, karmic knots. They live in your mind. They live in your emotional field. They live in your body. And they determine your disease. They determine your income. They determine everything because these are the energetic shackles that you have put on. Now, this isn't about blame, because if you want to add another shackle to that, start feeling bad about where you are. Start blaming yourself. Why did I do this? I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better. Why can't I? Why didn't I? Every lack of acceptance in every area of your life just adds another shackle. Just chains you back to something that isn't going to help you rise into a new earth that's full of love and possibility. What you truly want in your heart, which is freedom and abundance and self-expression and self-acceptance and being around and attracting the people who are like you and who are into the same things and who can help you and you can help them. You can't find those people, whether it's love or business clients or employees or whatever part of your life you're looking for those people. If you're still holding on to the shackles of the fear and the guilt, the shame, the blame, the fear, anger, anxiety, all of it, okay, depression, victimhood, there's no victims. That's a harsh reality, but if you don't want to face it, then you're going to go into the earth as this timeline split happens that stays where we are now and then begins to be attracted even lower. So if you thought we've been in the dark ages before, my sense is that when the earth splits this month, it's literally being rebirthed. What we've been through this year is the breakdown of the old, the metamorphosis, the caterpillar melting. Have you let go, or have you been trying to hold on? Have you opened up and stopped going, oh no, oh no, oh no, and went, wait a minute, maybe everything is changing and leaving and breaking down for a reason. Maybe there's something even better. Ooh, maybe this is what's supposed to happen. Okay, I'm going to let go. How can I let go? Let go of my fear. I let go of my fear by accepting it. How do I let go of my anxiety? How do I let go of my blame or my guilt or my anger or all the programming I have that I'm not good enough? Well, it took me decades, but it doesn't have to take you that long. Wherever you are right now, by the end of this month, you're going to be somebody new. Well, by the end of this call, you're going to be somebody new. By tomorrow, you're going to be somebody new. But are you consciously choosing who that new person is? That doesn't mean you need to know everything. It means you need to accept everything. It means you need to release and let go and free yourself from what will they think? What if I'll be happy when? It's a big one. Oh, I'll be happy when I have enough money, or when I have a bigger income, or when I have a bigger house, or when I have this person's approval, or that person says they're sorry, or everybody agrees with me, or everybody's happy for my success. Get over it. The people that know you the best, unfortunately, as much as we love them, they do not. They do not understand what you want. They do not know the changes. They're not going to like changes. Most people like things that stay the same. It doesn't make them bad. It just makes them normal. But everyone's waking up and everybody has this opportunity. So I need you to decide, I'm going to be a light leader. I'm going to go into this. I am consciously going to walk through all these events that are happening in this December, including my birthday. Woo! We're going to walk through a full solar eclipse. Okay, we've got all of the celebrations of light, Santa Lucia, the saint of light, bringing back the light, the solstice, the darkest night of the year, the longest night of the year is also the return to the light. It means the next day there's more light, and every day from then there's light until it's the longest day of the year, and we cycle. When will we realize that is how life is? That is how things move. It's how they happen. So I've got to go fix my door. I'll be back in 1 second. It's such a juicy topic. I don't want to stop. Oh, you're one, aren't you? All right. That should do it. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being kind and accepting that I'm trying to fix the environment so we don't have banging. When we have a lot of wind, the doors do this. They aren't sealed, and I have 2 of them, which I forgot. I have a bathroom and a door to the bedroom, so to the room. So, okay, so you're getting the gist, okay? What are we going to do today? We're going to get ready. We're preparing. We're preparing for December. We're preparing for the portals. We're preparing for the new year. This doesn't matter what you've done to this moment, okay? Just let it go. Don't be like, well, I didn't meditate yesterday and I didn't do this perfectly and whatever. I don't care. You've got to stop caring. Accept yourself, accept what is, accept what you did, accept what you didn't do, accept how much you've made, how much you've lost, who likes you, who you don't like, how much clarity you have. Just accept it. Now, acceptance isn't weakness. It's not condoning. It's not choosing. It's not saying it's okay, all right? So it's important to understand the state of acceptance I'm going to be sharing with you. Is an empowerment state. This is where you literally take your power back, real power, true power, inner power, because you transcend, you let go, you forgive, you come into harmony, you're surrounded with compassion. And it's all just because you say, I just accept. So what do I do now in this moment when something happens, even a shocking thing? I have programmed myself to literally, the first thing that I do is go, oh, wow, I wonder what this means. Like, where is this going to take us? I also have let go of being attached to the outcome. Oh, I'm going to go start this business or make this class. And on the way to making the class, I take 4 right turns and a left turn and climb a mountain and end up with something completely different. Okay. I love that. That's creativity. That's following the path. That's getting the clues. It's doing what you need to do to gain the skills. Do you play a computer game? You know, sometimes you have to go gain experience and find things. You find weapons or secret skills or knowledge or outfits or something, right? Well, that's what you've been doing, okay? You've been training. Your soul isn't stupid. Your soul and you are all part of source. You're part of the infinite field. You're not here just by accident. You're not here to be punished. You're not here because you're a loser. You haven't done it wrong. And yet, if we allow ourselves to believe any of those things any longer, yes, we were all taught some very negative things in our culture or in religions or at our school or from our family or as our gender. And we all realize now, we've all awakened a lot. In the time I've been alive, I'm going to be 60, okay, in a couple of weeks. And yet we go, wow, were we ever racist? Were we ever sexist? I can't believe that was okay. I remember people just throwing trash out the window of their car driving down the road when I grew up in the US when I was younger, and that was normal. It wasn't normal to go, oh, don't pollute, don't throw trash. We had to remember that, okay? So we're waking up, and everyone is waking up, and wherever you are, it's perfect. And what I most invite you to do, what I most send from my heart to yours is an invitation to accept who you are. Accept what is and what was, because now you free yourself, and you free yourself so profoundly. Mental weights, thoughts and beliefs and worries, heaviness. I do work with people. Like yesterday I did a reading, and you can tell me something you want about your life, or you don't have to tell me anything. And what I do is create a sacred space and a light temple, an infinity healing chamber like you've entered into today. Welcome. And then I tune in. We do different kinds of light work and energy work, and I scan their light body. And what I start to see, and I might ask them questions, it turns into a healing. It turns into talking to their higher self, or revelations from other lives, or communication. And yesterday I got this very detailed, specific communication of who he was in many lives and how those parts of him want to come together. And they had a specific place they wanted to meet, and a specific way that they sat together to create almost like a key, a sacred geometrical key. And then they would connect all of their expertise. And so there were 5 of them. So him in this life and 5 of his other lives. So everything exists at once. Everything is already in the infinite field. You are infinite because you're a part of it. You came from it. Everything's made from the same energy. And when you free yourself from these beliefs and you free yourself from these energies that I see in people, and then we receive the communication from them, you can transmute them and take that power back. So you don't chop off your hand, you clean your hand, right? You detox your hand. You let go of the beliefs that say, I'm not good enough to receive. You let go of the beliefs that say, I'm unlovable. So you can let the energy come into your heart, okay? So I see all this in your energy field, and it shows up really interesting ways, different for everyone. And then it's clues about who you are and your talents and your purpose and what you want this life to do come through. And what's so powerful right now is that people, so many of their other lives are coming forward and going, okay, now wait a minute, we got to talk. Okay, we have this pact, we have to remember it, we have this thing we used to do, this is the moment, we were supposed to meet at this time on this day. I did several clients on 11/11, and they specifically, I asked, anybody really want a session on 11/11? Because it just being in that energy and then doing one of these deep sessions makes it really, really powerful. So one of the things that happened was there were parts that would come through that are like, hey, when you came into this life, you designed soul triggers. That means at certain times in your life, maybe it was your age, maybe it was what you were doing, maybe it's this moment right now, 2020, which is the threshold. This is the preparation. This was the cocoon to get ready to enter the decade of the grand transformation and the decade of the golden age. So we are moving there, but it's not written in stone. It depends on what you decide. So you came into this life and said, okay, wow, I'm going to be one of the people here now in this threshold to the golden age, and we're going to need as many people as possible to hold the light, to master their energy, to let go of all those old outdated beliefs. They don't serve you. They don't lift you up. They don't empower you. At one point, maybe they did. So you agreed to them. You made the soul contracts. You made the agreements. I've seen them all, and we dissolve them. We find them. We talk to the lives. We free us in that life and in this life. And now the powers, the wisdom, the diamond that my daughter who died, who told me everything is opportunity, look for the diamond, you do that. You do that when you've been held back by a slave life. We're doing a class right now called Released, and it is where you literally are going into past lives as a slave, maybe, or as a slave master or driver, or into some pattern that formed this belief you now have in this life that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve, that it's going to be taken from you if you get it, or that you're being greedy if you have too much, or whatever. Depends on if it's around money or around love or yourself. But we have all these energies in us. And so when I get to see them and then they speak to us, we free them. And so you need to take that opportunity of what's happening in your life right now. Is there loss in your life right now? Well, welcome to metamorphosis, okay? Go online if you don't understand what happens to a caterpillar in order to turn into a butterfly. Now, my one daughter doesn't like butterflies, which I still find mind-boggling, but most people love butterflies because they're beautiful and they symbolize freedom. They fly, but they're strong. They're delicate and beautiful and colorful, and they flit and they fly, and yet they don't hurt anybody, right? They don't attack you like a shark, and there's nothing about them really in general to have fear of. And we watched this amazing process, but you looked like this. You couldn't fly. You knew how to crawl, you knew how to chew, but you didn't know how to fly. And some butterflies live less than a year and fly thousands and thousands of miles, like Canada to Mexico and back, in that one time frame. So they represent something amazing. And what's amazing is they have an imaginal cell. And I want you to tune into your imaginal cell. That imaginal cell is pre-programmed. It's a soul trigger. It's something you put in place when you designed, hey, this life, we need those 5 lives as slaves. I think we should bring in these 4 lives as the king or the master or whatever. We want these talents and those. I want my life from Atlantis. I'd like my guides and mentors from the Renaissance. I want to bring in all these different parts of me, and you may not be aware of them at first, or you may have been aware of them when you were a child, and then you shut down, tried to live the life you were supposed to, and now you're going, oh my gosh, I've got to unhook from all this crap. You do. But it's okay. It doesn't matter how long you've been working on it. You're going to keep working on it forever. But it's not work. It's play. We got to be in the present moment and go, ooh, I can choose in this moment to be at a higher vibration. I can choose in this moment to feel and think. I can choose. You know, instead of thinking this is a terrible, terrible thing that just happened, what if it's like the best thing that ever happened to me? And a year from now, I'm saying, oh God, it was really, really hard to go through that, but I'm so glad it happened. When my first business failed, I started my fashion design business a couple years out of college, and we did like $1 million in sales the first year or something. And 3.5 years later, I was closing it down. And as I was closing my factory, I literally got in a car accident where they thought I broke my neck, and it got me claustrophobia. And all this chain of events happened in my life from that point on that were very strange. I started getting panic attacks and claustrophobia, and I moved. And it just was very interesting when I look back at it. It was a horrible experience because I was the people-pleasing hard worker. I had hooked into those beliefs that I had to be this and I had to have that and I had to be the best in order to be good enough to have the approval from my parents or whoever, and so on and so on and so on. So I was running and like forcing it, and I'm smart and I'm strong and I'm gonna make it happen. And I know many, many of you are like that, and you went out and you were like, I'm gonna achieve this because that's what we were taught. You achieve things through your hard work, and the harder you work and the more you struggle, the better person you are and the more you achieve it. Well, you obviously don't deserve it. It all fell apart because you did something wrong. So you're getting punished. These kind of ridiculous beliefs that we were hooked into, it was fine at the time. I have skills from my hard work ethic that I'm very glad I have, and yet they can't control me anymore. I can't be a workaholic anymore. I have to develop balance. I have to flow in. I have to realize that my feminine energy, my intuitive energy, the spiritual world, in fact, is bigger than the physical world. It's everything, and the physical world's like the little teeny tiny tip of the iceberg, okay? So as I went through loss and pain, like my business, and then the humiliation and the shame, and that I failed my parents and I failed myself, and what was the point of all this work and all the school, and here I am standing. What did it do? It gave me a right turn. So if you're at that point in your life, like I went through a 3.5-year divorce, I ended up bankrupt and homeless. Before that, I had $1 million home and I owned 80 properties in a real estate investing company. How did I go from there to there? Through a lot of pain, okay? A lot of metamorphosis, a lot of loss, a lot of change. However, those were the moments I learned the most. I had to go the deepest. The usual way doesn't work. Let's get it out of here, right? But then you move into a space where you start looking within. And you start saying, I just want to find peace. Where is peace? And that's where we all went into the new age about positive thinking and happy thoughts. And don't even look at that negative thought. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. It'll eat you. Well, you know what? We needed that then. We needed that because we were completely consumed by all our negative energies. We let every emotion and every person pull us down. It still happens. So if it's still happening to you, this is the moment to unplug, because as you go through the portals in December, you're going to want to not bring that energy with you. That's baggage, burdens, things that feel like a burden, things that haunt you, things that shadow you, things you still feel guilty about, people you still feel betrayed by. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. Don't start the validation speech in your head, okay? Don't start but this happened and that happened, then they did this. I told you at the beginning, I'm sure that you have a very valid case. If you want to stay at that vibration and prove you were right and they were wrong, or wait for somebody else to agree with you or to approve of you, go for it. But you're going to be waiting around forever, and it'll happen for a minute and then it's going to go down. You work hard for that approval. You work hard to become good enough. You work hard to get it. I remember one client saying to me, but I worked so hard to get here. I thought I finally have all the clients I need. I have the staff that's perfect. I have the, the online presence. Now I have it all. I reached the goal. Oh, good. And then someone quit. And then some clients left. And then things didn't stay that way. And she was so shocked. Well, I used to be that way too, because we were all taught hard work and thinking a lot is going to make it happen. You've got to get back into balance. And letting go of this being in charge is unhooking, unhooking, unhooking. So today we're going to vision the new earth. And yes, for everybody, but everybody gets to choose which earth they split into. And so this is the timeline split. We've been splitting and splitting, and multiple dimensions and timelines have been opening for a lot of people. A lot of my clients, a lot of my private clients have been having phenomenal experiences where they literally in real time can see down multiple pathways of what will happen depending on what they choose in that moment. That's phenomenal. So all of these things that have been breaking down, they're pointing you somewhere new. Look up. Don't be the fly who dies trying to get out the window. Turn around. There's a door open right there. And there's probably one open right here and here and here. And there's probably a million synchronicities. And there's all kinds of things if you freed your mind and you freed your heart and you let yourself stop being you. Stop being the you were taught, the you were trying to be, the you think had to be good enough. You don't have to. You have to let it go and accept who you are, because all your secret powers are there. All your love is there. When you accept who you are and you start to be who you are and you start to trust life, regardless of what happens, you just stay present in the moment. This moment is precious. This moment is beautiful. What is the best thing I could be doing for myself or for this person I love or in this moment? So my beloved soulmate had a very severe seizure over a year and a half ago, and he's still recovering. It changed our lives completely. We had to cancel all kinds of things. My business is not the same. Everything in life and how we live and where we go, where we don't go, everything changed. And so you could be going, well, it's just a terrible thing. But I don't believe that anymore. Not after a 3.5-year divorce, going from all of that, thinking I was set for life, to nothing, to going through years and years feeling we're internally having this pattern that thought I deserved to be punished. So every time I would make, it would go away. So if you ever have that, you make a lot, it goes away. You make a lot, it goes away. It's easy to see with money, but it's every pattern in your life. So all of these are opportunities. And because I was like, okay, but what's underneath that? What's at the energy? What's underneath that? What's at the energy? I started to see energy and sense energy and move energy and learn the science behind it, and then the sacred science behind it, and go to the mystery schools. And so everything that's calling you forward, gather that information. Look at your life. It's a story. If you start to connect the dots, what do you become? You've been on the hero's journey. You've had the ups and the downs and the deaths and the joys and the magic. People come and the people betray you, and all the storylines, all the drama, right? It's all been there. But it's a story. If you go under to the energy, and you accept who you are and where you are, you can watch the story, and then you can read the story, and then you can say, oh, I'm going to go through life like this. And this is what's in front of me right now. December is like you're standing there looking at a mountain range. You could go through the tunnel, or you could try to dig underneath it. You could go around it. You could try to fly or climb over it. But it is there. It is inevitable. So why not say, okay, I'm going to use this and everything else that has happened to me this year in my whole life and in all my lives as powers. There's a diamond inside of each one of them. There's a wisdom I'm ready to receive. There's a height I'm ready to go to. There's a realization of who I truly am that I am ready to have. So what's actually going to happen? We're going to go in right now. I'm going to share some slides with you so we can look at some of the energies that are coming. I'm going to do a live event on all of these. So we're going to do it on the solar eclipse, the full solar eclipse. Very important, day after my birthday. Very, very important time to energy to come together. So make sure you come here. We're going to do it on the solstice, the 21st, of course. And then the 28th and the 29th, I'm going to have 2 3-hour events with some guests and with healings and channelings. And I don't like calling them predictions, but like reading the energies in the moment and opening to what we're gifted with. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to do right before the new year? So it's a beautiful time to come and be with me. Make sure that you join us, okay? Now, I'm going to do something I always forget. I'm going to say hi. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Z. Please unplug us from the predatory patriarchy timeline and into the divine feminine sovereign timeline. Excellent. So will you hold the energy for that, Z? Will you make sure that you're holding the of the divine feminine and the sovereign, okay? And free yourself from all the hooks. The realization, the affinity, the knowledge you have of the predatory patriarchy, that's great. But now you can't bring that energy with you. You have to say, great, thank you for me interacting with you, because you made me realize this is the energy that I want on the planet. This is important, and I'm going to be a pillar of light for it. I'm going to hold it, okay? So now your job this month is to shed, to wash all of that. You can't hate it. You can't fear it. You can't blame it. You rise above it. You accept it. You just go, great, you were an excellent inspiration. Now I'm focusing this way, okay? Divine feminine sovereignty. Thank you. Excellent. Hi, Mark-Ann. Yes, it's always recorded. YouTube does it. I don't, so I can't forget. Thank you, sweetie. We need to unplug from mediocre manipulation matrix entirely. Absolutely. So unplugging from matrices is a big deal. You know, the vaccine, I don't want to get into it. I'm a homeopathic doctor. I know the vaccines. I did not vaccinate my children. The idea that they could come up with a vaccine for this in this short of amount of time, and the people I know on the inside and the research teams and the side effects that are there, blah, 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 why they're pushing it and all the different things. I don't want to get into the discussion of that. The idea, though, for me, of that manipulation, right, that something being forced on me, I want freedom. So what I would do is say, take any of these matrices that bother you, that distract you. That's one that happens to get me upset. I'm very good at disconnecting from everything and living in my own reality, so that the energy that I'm giving out to the world is always positive, is always powerful, is always going out and saying, yes, this is who I want to be in the world. And I'm lifting up, I'm expanding. But I also have to acknowledge and accept when those darker energies come up. And so they come up, and I accept them. And then we move into freedom. So hold the space of freedom, okay? Upgrade into the highest frequency timeline. What we want to do is upgrade into the timeline, the frequency, the earth, the reality that's optimal for me. Okay, what does that mean? That means you, not your ego needs and wants, not what you can imagine is going to happen for you, but you, your higher self, you, your soul blueprint, you, your divine plan. Okay, so take all of these, write them down. I love the energies. Thank you guys for being here, putting these together, and then look at them. These are the heavy energies that we're going to release, and I'm going to replace them with what? The feeling of freedom or acceptance or harmony. But all you have to do is start with willingness. Actually, you just have to start with courage. That's the first one up. I'm willing to receive the highest, most eternal liberation, restoration, recompensation, revitalization, rejuvenation. Thank you. And as I agree, and so it will be. Ruben, if it really are so easy, why don't you just take someone on this call onto the other side permanently instead of all that talking? Thank you. Well, so I can't do that for you. I can be a guide for the energy. So if you're in that state, you're in the state of blame. You're wanting to blame me and other people that they can't just take you somewhere and make it all happen for you. And it kind of sucks, right? I know. I've had a lot of clients. I've been there. I felt like the victim. I felt like, you know, oh, you're all full of shit because it's not real, because my life sucks and everything's bad and so on. You just have to look where you are on the scale. I'll share that with you in a moment, honey. And yeah, you find somebody that you can connect to, even if it's a little bit. If it's not me, then don't. I do a lot of readings, live readings, and I'm happy to help anybody who comes on those. And so that's not really a big challenge, but I don't do it so that I fix you or that I take you somewhere. And to be honest, your desire that you come forward with is just the desire that got you there. What you really is optimal for you is probably something else. And that's why when things fall apart, it looks painful. But you have to look beyond what's falling apart, because as you turn into nothing, you don't recognize yourself anymore when you liquefy, and then you start to form the butterfly. Well, what we're doing this month is completing that liquefaction. Let go. Go spend 2 days alone somewhere. Yell, scream, write, take baths, do things to let that emotion come up and out, and then look at the scale and understand, this is where I am. I can't see the sunset from the top of a mountain if I'm down in a cave. So energetically, if you're down there, of course it feels heavy, and it feels that way. And that's where you have to find your little lights along the way, and people will help you. These informations come across. The first book I got, spiritual book I was given, I loved the person who gave it to me, but I wasn't into this stuff. So I went home, threw it on my desk in my bedroom, and went, weirdo stuff. And I didn't look at it for 2 years until he died. And then I was cleaning and I found it. And because I loved him and he had died, I finally was willing to look at it. And it was right when everything was falling apart. I thought I was the worst, and everything was the worst, and I didn't care if I lived. And I started to read it, and it was Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. It was one of the early books on that, and it became, I lived it, I read it every minute. So look for that, allow something to come into you. Hello, Caroline. I love you too, sweetie. Yes, we do need a big shift. Okay, and we have one more. I'm holding energy to be done with sexual abuse to anyone or anyone. Hi, Lindsay. All right, great. Wow, we have a lot of impatient energy today. Okay, well, good. Let's go get started. I don't do desperation anymore. I don't do despair or frustration or disappointment. And so I'm going to invite everybody here. This is exciting, but this is an empowerment experience. So you're going to have an opportunity to keep bringing up this ugly stuff, this frustration and this blame and this complaining and this grit, and you're going to be able to release it. I want you to recognize it, though. Don't go and leave the call and then pick it back up again. And that's typical. There's an echo, or because it's a familiar pattern to think a certain way, because the reality around you is what you want. So we're going to vision a timeline split. And so December 2020 is such a powerful month that I wanted to have an entire show where we just understood the energy that we're walking through. So, this I talked about, that's today. Then we're going to do the solar eclipse, the solstice, and you'll get all that. You'll see plenty of emails about that. All right, so what are we doing right now? What are we doing today? We're getting ready. We're getting guidance. So you're going to receive guidance. So you're going to want to be open and receptive, okay? When you're restricted, when you're like, get on with it, I want this right now, or whatever, you are in a low, heavy energy. There's no way to open up, okay? So you're going to be a light as we split the earth into 2 timelines this month. What we're doing is like mental rehearsal. You practice now. So you'll probably notice polarity is still getting stronger. People are going further into fear and darkness, darkness just meaning low, heavy energies, and people going in towards what they're awakening, towards their level of light. And it's going to keep going. So your choices of how you think and feel, who you blame, yourself or other people, all of this, everything that makes up your energy field is in your choices and your self-care, like doing things to take care of yourself. The key is to raise your vibration consciously. Okay, so what are you doing when you wake up to raise your vibration, to check where you are, to give yourself time to talk with your higher self, to understand what's the optimal thing for you today, instead of having a to-do agenda made by things outside of you? Okay, what would be the next step you could do in the day? Say, well, regardless of what else I get done today, I'm going to make sure I take a walk, I go for a swim, I do this meditation, I listen to this class, I read this book. There needs to be, these things need to be. I'm going to take a shower or a bath. I have a client who takes like a 2 or 3 hour bath every day. And of course she meditates when she's in there, and she writes when she's in there, and she gets inspired when she's in there. She uses it, but she gets to do this thing that's soothing and nurturing her body and her mind and her spirit. And it makes her more creative. She finds the most amazing solutions. So you can choose where you will go through these portals this month, where you're going to be in that state. So will you allow yourself to be dragged into fear and of attached to the dark earth? It didn't make any sense. Dragged into the fear and attached to the dark earth. That will keep going further into struggle, guilt, and blame. So understand something, that the timeline split is not something to be afraid of. It's phenomenal that we're going through it consciously, that we know this is going to happen. I'm not the only one. In fact, I don't do astrology. I read a few different people that I think do really good interpretation of astrology, and I'm going to share some in a moment from someone about this time frame. And it's important that you understand the weather, so to speak, the energetic weather that you're walking through. So we get to know in advance that this split has happened. It's been happening, but this is really where you get to choose. You can't blame anybody when you get to the other side. Well, look at this place, it's full of shit, everything's bad, oh my God. And it's not that you're gonna wake up the day after, most likely, and look out the window and there's going to be glowing fairies and everything's going to be completely different. But the energy is going to be different. And what is birthed from that moment forward, what grows and what falls away will change. All right? Let go of being attached to what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and has it happened and I want a prediction of what it's going to happen. Be in the energy now and you will be guided every single moment exactly what to do. The truth is revealed to you, your truth, step by step. But when you sit in one place and say, well, prove it to me. Show me the plan. I need a 5-year plan. I need to know where the money's going to come from, how I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it. I need everything there, then I'll do it. Show me the money and then I'll do it. Show me that it's going to work and then I'll do it. Give me a guarantee and then I'll do it. That's part of the masculine energy, not male, but the energies that we've been living in. This make it happen, force it to happen. That's ridiculous. You need to be here right now. What is the hurdle in front of you right now? What is the attachment that is dragging you further? Because when the timeline splits, whatever version, I don't think it's just going to be two, you know, it's two main ones that will have other versions around it because there's infinite possibilities. But are you going to be in or orbiting the earth that stays this way and goes further into struggle, guilt, and blame? It's going to be like being attached to something sinking, because there's going to be a version of that earth that goes worse, that goes deeper into blame and violence and guilt and abuse and all of that. And then there's going to be other versions of it. And then over here in the light new earth, there's going to be this, the one, you know, main version that's going to be, right? However, what does that mean to you? Isn't your ideal different than my ideal? My earth is going to be slightly different because my reality is different, because what I align my energy with is different. What I allow to be in my thoughts and my mind and my mental energy and my emotional energy is specific to creating the life that I want. So how you think and feel and you go up to the solstice is how you're going to go through, and then you're going to go through that portal. So if your thoughts and feelings and attitudes and beliefs are harmonious, are willing, are trusting. You don't even have to be all the way up there. You just want to be, okay, I think it's possible. Just be impossible. That's it. Okay? Impossible, not impossible. Okay? And then if you can get to willingness, if you can get to inspiration, if you can get to acceptance, if you can give yourself permission, then you can get to higher states and you can be in love and harmony. But get this, if during the split you're able to raise your vibration and ride through in any version of that light, or we'll call it light and dark for simplicity's sake, all right? Because it's not good and bad, and it's not evil and all the rest of that. It's just, what do you want? What do you prefer? And a lot of versions of that. And then from that point, it will grow. So whereas if you go into this through fear and anger and, oh, well, it's just going to be the same and who cares and nobody tells the truth and everybody's just promoting themselves. I didn't promote myself. So it's fascinating that somebody thought I was promoting myself. I was like, what am I promoting? I didn't promote anything. And that's where you're coming from. That's what you're receiving, is everybody's trying to force me to buy something. Everybody's trying to give me this. Everybody's trying to make me something happen. And you may really be upset that I'm saying this, but I'm telling you the truth, because that energy is inside of you right now. You can decide to let it go and then shift over. I wouldn't bring that with me, okay? If I'm stuff's coming up as I'm doing this class that I will no longer mention, stuff's coming up for me too. And I spent Sunday, which is my one spiritual, sacred, beautiful day off, and I was like heavy, and I'm like, why are all these heavy energies come up? Oh, that's right. I just did all these releasing processes. I'm asking them to come up. All right. So remember that you can ask for help from invisible sources, right? Your body, your higher self, angels, whatever you perceive these energies as. I have a whole team of light body council and all kinds of energies that I work with and I have for a long time, and different energies come in all the time. So today, as we do the timeline split, I'm going to do a guided process, and whatever comes in that's optimal for this time will be there to assist us. So you can ask. But remember, if you're all shut down and you think everything sucks and you're carrying a lot of guilt and shame and grief and regret, and shame and guilt have been big parts of my life for a long time, longer than I've been free of them. And again, they're excellent teachers. And so when I finally realized that I could listen to them, and the same way a problem births a solution and then maybe a new product or a new way of doing things that makes life better for everybody, the same way our fears and pains and problems are the doorway. So as the new earth splits, if you focus on freedom, the ability to see the solutions, right? Acceptance. Acceptance is forgiveness in your light body, in your emotional body. So it just falls away. Okay. So the age of Aquarius, we've heard about it for a while. We've sort of in it for a while. This is a moment that really solidifies us into it. And I'll share with you what's happening with something called the Grand Conjunction this month, and why it's important that this is in Aquarius, being an air sign. Okay, so that means that our energies, instead of being focused in the physical earth sign, is going to be more in the spirit, in creativity, in thought, in unity, in harmony. It's just going to be what the energies naturally are shifting to. So that part's super great, right? So if you want to be more in tune with your spiritual and psychic abilities, this time frame right now for the solstice is excellent for allowing that to happen, shedding what's in the way of it and receiving it. More flow, more peace, more individual power, respect, harmony with others. Now is the time to choose to reach higher than ever before. So December is the cherry. We talked about that. And so everything is culminating right this month. The timeline split, the Grand Conjunction, the solstice, the solar eclipse, they're all energetically working together to create this unique soup, or this unique space that we're going to go through. So like we've been talking about, we're going to align with these energies, the upcoming portals. We're going to envision it. We're going to begin to mentally rehearse, emotionally, spiritually rehearse, tune into, reach to the timeline that we most desire to have. So before the massive ending of the karmic cycle on Earth ends, which is what's happening, we have to consciously prepare to choose how we will experience it. So preparing and understanding what the possibilities are is what we're up to right now. So here's the scale. If you don't have this, please email Donna at support@nanakasha.com, and she'll be happy to gift this to you. This is a scale of consciousness. You can also just Google scale of consciousness and you'll find David Hawkins and a million other people have a version of this. This is our version. And I want you to look at acceptance. When I'm talking about, do you want to walk through into the earth with blame? Then you're down here at guilt. That means you're going to bring evil thoughts in, you're going to bring destructive energies in, and vindictive energies into your next reality. So you might just be blaming yourself. You might be blaming other people. You might be blaming the government. You might be blaming. Who are you blaming? I don't care. Find it. Release it consciously. Ask it for help. Energetically. Meditate. Write it. Just do something to say, oh yeah, no, not interested. So you can see down here, shame and humiliation, the energies that come with each of these lower states. Even grief. Grief isn't something like, well, you did something bad because you're in grief. You know, when my daughter died, I was in grief. I didn't want to live. But the problem is it's a low energy and it's filled with regret and tragic thoughts. And you feel despondent. That's victimhood. You feel you can't handle anything else and there's no energy. So all of these lower energies, anxiety and fear and disappointment and desire and craving, I need this and I want that and I have to have this and this has to happen and that has to happen and this person needs to stop and that person needs to start. You're just attached. But if you rise to the higher vibrations, those things that you want will open, but they'll open in a much more harmonious way. They don't require you down here. So this is easy, gives it an easy place to look at. Where are you denying yourself? Where are you punishing yourself? Where are you punishing other people? Where do you hold anger or hate? Where do you feel like you've been denied? And then from courage up, it's what's called power states. And so at courage, your emotions feel positive. You think things are possible. You become empowered and you give yourself permission. So you can start to see, if you just say, I'm going into this new earth, the best I can do is I can imagine myself going in through courage. I have the courage to be here. It is possible. And then you start to feel empowered. Well, that's going to grow in the new earth if you go through with that. And trust is at neutrality. And there you get released and enabled. And willingness is where optimism is and hopeful thoughts. And you can start to make intentions and you can get inspired. And then you reach acceptance. So the reason that I harp on about acceptance is because it's a state of being. It's a vibrational state. And at that state, your reality is completely different. My reality is completely different than it used to be. Things that used to concern me and worry me, drag me down, make me sick, they don't. Because I'm not hooked to these lower states where those exist. But it wasn't easy. It's taken my whole life. Right now, we're being given an opportunity to go through and like shed a ton of shit fast. So when I say I hate forgiveness, because the idea that we've been taught really like religiously, like we need to have faith and we need to forgive, and we're bad, we're sinners, and therefore we have to, you know, suffer and be punished, and it's because we're never good enough that things don't work out in our lives. So whether that was your culture, your family, or your religion, or whatever, some form of that beliefs, well, you can see that's just a story being told on the vibrational scale. In order to have faith, you have to be willing. You have to accept. But the way that faith was taught to me was, well, just let me do whatever I want to you and tell you you're bad and you suck and control you and tell you depressing things. That's having faith. You just accept what I've told you you can have. No, that is not it. No one else's reality, mine or anyone else's, is your reality. So don't accept it. All right, but you don't, in order to accept it, you don't have to go through a big force. It's a letting go. So you transcend, you automatically get the support, and you transcend the story and the fear and the worry and what's going to happen there. And you're actually able, I love it when I see that in transformations, right? Where people can walk through the same painful situation is still going on in their life, but they've freed themselves to rise up to a higher level. Compassion, of course, is a very healing vibration that becomes a part of who you are, compassion for yourself. And your mind is harmony. So these things up on a higher scale are a great place for you right now to print the scale out, to highlight them, to think about them. How would it feel if I had reverence, if I had abundant thoughts, if I felt one, serene or blissful, if I had gratitude, that if I was content, if I was reverent, if I felt appreciated, if I appreciated what I had. So all the same things that you've learned about manifestation, well, it's a great time for manifestation. Doing any manifestation ritual or any manifestation type of process or thought or writing or healing during this month, especially during these key points, is going to be excellent. And so this scale is a way for you to tune in and say, where am I right now? Oh, okay, I feel enslaved because I'm craving, I'm addicted, I have a desire and I want it and prove it and make it happen. And, and oh my God, most of us have lived there. I know I lived there for a long time. Desire, disappointment, I'm never enough. It's never enough. So you just look and you go, oh, well, I'm stuck down here. How can I get up? And that's what we're going to do today, is shed some of that and lots of other things that I do. So the eclipse is the first thing we're going to come to. The next live thing is going to be on the 14th. What is that? Well, like all eclipses, it's a time of dark. In the dark, you want to protect yourself. Different cultures make noise and with rattles, and they dance or they sing all night as a form of protection. What I mean is energetically protect yourself, and more than ever, make sure that you're in a positive state. Surround yourself with beautiful, loving things that lift you up, music or chants or incense or crystals, whatever it is that you like. Watch something funny, snuggle with your cat. Just create that space. Be willing to go within, because it's the womb. So we've talked about the metamorphosis. The breakdown is happening. Let it go until next week. You're going to be deep into the womb. The womb is where the seed is, the template for you and your soul to go and reclaim a new world, a new you. So this gives you a portal to play in before the timeline split, before the birth. You go into the womb, you plant the seed, and you nurture it. So we will be blessed with the new frequencies and light codes, the new abilities. This is what's available to you. New abilities. If you just dream about what new abilities could I have, how clearly could I see my higher self, or what if I started to see energies or move energies, or what if I spiritually felt truth just pouring through me all the time and I wrote a book, or what, like play with what it's like, because these new frequencies are going to be here inviting you. And again, it's your choice. And this is things that are going to come to you to help assist you as you move towards the timeline split. And on the solstice on December 21st, we're going to have the timeline split. It's also the usual. The solstice is the darkest and longest night of the year. So again, the deepest part of the womb. Now, that could be that from there, like the hero's journey, you're going to go from the darkness and you're going to fight the last of your demons, and you're going to declare one more time, I am that I am. I'm strong enough. I can change. I can transform. I can free myself. I am going to move towards the light. But whatever way that is, the light returns. Immediately, the millisecond that night ends, the next day is longer. The light is coming back. And so we're going to tune into that. But what you want to know is that the veil is very thin. Your spiritual connection is very high. So talking to your guides or angels, or to your body, or to your higher self, or seeing your blueprint is a very good time for this. And this is where you can get inspired, right? Show me something that's possible. Connect to a future you that is in the golden timeline, and then say, show me something. Come to me in my dream, or I'll free flow write, or just give me a vision, or I'll sit quietly and daydream and imagine, and you come and join me. So remember, the timeline split is offering new and unseen before levels of growth. So we want to say this or something better. Don't limit yourself, because you can't imagine what's possible. You can reach higher states, more light, more abundance, more peace, more prosperity. And it's great, like I said, for manifestation, meditations, intentions, and visualizations about the life that you want to attract for yourself and the new earth. So when you split through this day, through this moment, and you're birthed back into the light growing, you're immediately a seed that can grow. So let's just say, for example, if you knew how to test this, you started out right now on the scale at fear and anxiety, because that's kind of the MO on the planet right now. And then you went through the timeline split and you got yourself up to courage, and you got yourself into willingness. That's enormous, by the way. That is a huge shift in consciousness and a huge energy. So even if you just got to courage, okay, that's part of the seed. And from courage, you grow. You grow and you're empowered. You're permitted. You're allowed. You're in the power states. You're being fed and supported so you can grow up into all those other states. You do not have to feel like I didn't do it right. Okay. Don't worry about that. So you're going to reach these higher states, more light, more abundance, more peace, more prosperity in ways you might know or you might not know. So you want to drop into your heart, take a deep breath in, let it clear your mind, connect you to your spiritual nature through your crown, and drop into your heart. As simple as that, you focus. What is the new earth that I want? What are the states that I'm ready to embody? So this is the beautiful image that I found for our show today, and I thought it was a wonderful, you don't see the Y, the split in the road, because we're all one, but there's a rainbow, and there's possibilities, and there's stars, and there's just old things dying that you're leaving behind, and there's freedom, right? To fly and to soar. So the next thing that's going to happen this month, that is, all of these energies are affecting each other. So in each portal, I would, if I were you, I'd focus on all of them. But this is called the Grand Conjunction. And again, I'm not an expert, but this is where Jupiter and Saturn align. And it only happens every 20 years or so. Now, this couple slides are from the site called foreverconscious.com. And I just want to give her credit and thank you, and recommend that you go there. It's where I go to get a lot of information about interpretation of what's happening. So she says the Grand Conjunction occurs every 20 years or so, and it's when both Jupiter and Saturn align at the same degree of the zodiac. A Grand Conjunction represents a changing of an era. Well, we know that's happening, and a time where we shift our way of viewing the world. So to me, I see time shift, right? So as our worldview changes, so too does society and the way we choose to approach things, or like I say, so does your reality, right? The way you believe and live is who you attract into your life. So somebody could come to where you live and say, everybody's mean and rude and I hated it there. And you could say, this is the nicest people in the world live here. It's a different reality that you're in. So as that does, you get to choose, like I said, right, to approach things. While the Grand Conjunction happens every couple of decades, the 2020 alignment opens the door to an even bigger cycle. For the last 200 years, Jupiter and Saturn have been aligning only in Earth signs, but this year they're going to align in the air sign of Aquarius. So we talked about a minute ago what that means. The Grand Conjunction happening in an air sign for the first time in 200 years represents an even bigger shift in our worldview and the era we're about to embark on. One of the reasons I want you to know this is that you knowing this, you know you're supported. You're knowing that regardless of how well you do getting through this portal, all of these energies are here to support you. They're going to be there helping you. 200 years. Okay, Jupiter and Saturn will also be aligning at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which is an extra significant degree of the zodiac. I only know that 0 is a power state, right? 0 represents infinite potential and holds the energy of limitless possibilities. So you're going to move through an energy that is basically the essence of infinite potential and limitless possibilities. You're going to be able to drink that in. Okay, and on an even deeper level, the grand conjunction could allow us to see that we are truly all connected. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? Unity consciousness is already built. It's here. It's the ninth wave of consciousness. And so us being able to see that will be phenomenal. It will start to open our minds to higher levels of consciousness that understand that there is no separation between us. And the grand conjunction happening in earth signs over the last 200 years has pushed our focus. So this is one of the reasons we are hooked to, programmed with. Our focus has been on ambition, big government, and big business. It's made us focus on material wealth and possessions and creating and building tangible things for the future. There's no right or wrong or good or bad. So we have created a lot of things on the planet, but we're all aware balance is needed now. So now we enter a space and an energy that all around us, regardless of what earth you end up on, is going to be supporting you to balance that out. So now you have the grand conjunction switching to an air sign gives us a focus towards the collective, community-based approach, humanitarian efforts, technology, believe it or not. We've already seen that. More things online than in the physical world. Well, we've already seen people working at home and whole lifestyles are changing. Did you know that the real estate market in the US has gone bananas? It's like one of the fastest growth, biggest growths ever, and yet everybody's supposed to be staying at home and not doing anything. Well, what did it do? It changed our priorities. It changed our realization that we're going to be working at home, or our kids are going to be doing school at home more, or we're going to be staying home and having food delivered more, at least for a while. And so people are moving out of cities. People are moving to country or to someplace they have more land or a bigger house where they can be further away from other people. And it's actually created this huge seller's market where people are having bidding wars. So if you're thinking about moving, it's a great time to move. So the things that you might be thinking, oh, this is a bad time to go anywhere or do anything. No, not necessarily. It really depends on you and your energy. Your energy determines everything. So we're looking at infinite potential. We're looking at the fact that we're going to be surrounded by limitless possibilities. And this is an energy that you can drink and be infused with as you move through this. So being prepared means being and fully accepting yourself, not forcing yourself to be something that you're not. This is a big, big statement, and I want you to close your eyes and I want you to focus on it. I'm ready and willing to be and fully accept myself. So just allow yourself to watch, to sense. What are the thoughts that come up? Where do you find tension or shifts in your body, your chakras? This is all communication. It's telling you where you have fears of saying something like that, where you are hooked into old beliefs or patterns or obligations that counter that. Ooh, no, I'm not good enough. Ooh, I can't say that. People will criticize me. They won't like me, and so on and so forth. All right? I'm ready and willing to be and fully accept myself. I'm ready to fully and multidimensionally accept who I am and who I was designed to be. I accept and am ready to be in a natural way, in flow, with the multidimensional being that is me. New levels of consciousness, new skills, new talents. I'm ready to feel the empowerment and opportunity in this month, these portals and downloads and shifts. And I'm ready to turn towards the light, to accept where I am, who I am, where I've been, and be empowered and uplifted by these downloads. So take a moment and take a deep breath in. And as you do, say, I now keep my vibration lifted by aligning with trust, willingness, acceptance, and self-respect. And when you let the breath go, very gently going down and out of you, you're releasing and washing away force, fear, guilt. I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to receive this cleansing, clearing, and freeing. Take a deep breath in through your nose, feel it go up through your forehead, watch it go out of your crown, up to your higher self. Create a connection and allow this breath out like a fountain. I was designed on purpose. I am here for a purpose. I accept my purpose. Relax, release, and let go of all that's holding you back from accepting, forgiving, letting go, transcending, and harmonizing with your purpose. Relax. And now open your heart and invite your higher self, heart to heart, mind to mind. I'm ready and willing to connect, to receive your communication, your guidance, your love, and to allow the blocks that I've put in place to dissolve in the time and the way that is optimal for me. You feel and see your higher self, and you say, I'm ready to stop. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to unhook. Give me the keys. I'm ready to free myself from prison, untie the shackles and obligations, terminate and complete the agreements and the vows. I'm ready to let the guilt, the shame, the fear, the blame, the regret, the anger, the victimhood. I'm ready to let the fear, the disappointment, the craving. I'm ready to let the enslavement, the abuse. I'm ready to let the anxiety, the anger, the revenge, the hate. I'm ready to let all the not enoughness, I'm not enough, it's not enough, they're not enough, there's never enough, lack in all forms. Give me the papers, the codes, the keys, the freedom, the passwords, whatever it is I require to let it go. I know it's a game that can't be won. I know it's a game that has nothing to do with reality. But it's created and prevented and shackled me and the planet and the beauty, the plants and the animals and the elementals. We have agreed to play this game of limitation, and we now enter these portals, the grand conjunction, the full solar eclipse, the return of the light, the solstice, and the timeline split. And I'm willing to step out of those heavy, heavy boots and into purpose, power, harmony, strength, happiness, peace, bliss. Your higher self gives you one special thing and whispers, this is all you need to unhook or unlock, to terminate or complete, to untie or unshackle, to free yourself. You take it, whether you see it or understand it or not, you put it in your heart and you look up. In front of you is a hot air balloon. On it, it says, "Get high by being you." This is a gift from your highest self, from the karmic council, from Kuan Yin and Mother Mary, from the divine feminine, the overlighting deva of healing, from Merlin, the elementals, and from White Buffalo Calf Woman, bringing the peace and reuniting the Rainbow Tribe. Before you can enter and lift off, to rise above and to choose your path, you have to agree. I'm ready to let go and rise up. I'm ready to be who I was designed to be. I'm ready and willing, open and receptive to release all that binds me, prevents me, even hidden and secret vows, energies that feed off me, energies that lower me, energies that weigh me down, tie me down, restrict me, all attachments on every level and in every life and every time. I am ready to let go with ease, with grace, accepting the support of this moment and rise up. Accept and forgive. Accept and transcend. Accept and rise into the full color rainbow of harmony. Your higher self now enters the hot air balloon with you. You look around. It's beautiful. It's decorated with all your favorite colors and symbols and shiny gold and crystals and amazing things that you've forgotten or never seen. And now you look. The moment is here. You know that you've let go. You know that it's time. Now is the final moment. You have to untie those fears and those beliefs, those thoughts that blame yourself and others, those thoughts of guilt and shame, regret and grief. You have to unburden yourself from chasing and forcing and struggling, trying to get anything or anyone outside of you to agree, to change. You have to release desperation and victimhood and neediness. You have to release failure. You have to. If you want to rise up, you don't have to. If you're ready and willing to stay the same or to go deeper, to have more powerlessness and more fear, more disease and more uncertainty, to have more blame and more separation, more bondage and more limitation. Now you choose. The higher the frequency of your light body, the higher the frequency of the entire planet and everyone on it at the time of the split. So you move around. You know that you're going to unlock new worlds and energies. How high do you want to get? Moving around this hot air balloon, you're untying and unhooking whatever anchors it's tied to. Those are your heavy shackles. Release them with gratitude and move to the next one. Maybe there's sacks, heavy sacks, just filled with sand. Those heavy, heavy guilt and shame burdens. You say to yourself, I'm ready to go high and stay there. Help everyone at the time of the split enter the reality of higher consciousness and peace and bliss and abundance and joy and harmony. And you unhook and you dissolve, and perhaps you light on fire. All of these ropes are beginning to unfurl, unhook, and dissolve. Your vibration gets higher, and you realize, oh, I already know how to stay high. I just have to surrender and accept myself and be true to myself. Listen for my song, for my hum, and let it penetrate everything in my reality. I now accept. 3 more ties are there holding you down. Your hot air balloon is starting to come off the ground. It's floating a little higher. You find those 3 last things and you say, I accept. I accept. I accept. Gently now, this beautiful basket that you, your higher self, your I am presence, your body elemental are all in together. Settles, rights, floats gently, gently, very, very slowly up. All of you turns to you. You are the creator. You are the light. You are the author, the writer, and the director. And you are the main character in your heroine's journey. The moment is critical. You're rising up, but you're floating aimlessly. You have no sense of direction. You don't know which way the winds are taking you. They've just happened because of all the hooks you've had. Your higher self leans forward and taps your forehead 3 times. You know, relax, look up, look up, look up from within. You sense and feel your inner eye opening. It sees a rainbow, stars, nebulas, vastness, limitlessness, space, the infinite feel, full of infinite possibility, limitless, effortless potential. Looking from within, you feel suddenly there's a current. You like the way it feels. You look that way within. You say, yes, I have the courage to follow that. I'm ready to receive. Your balloon effortlessly enters that air current, and you feel yourself rising. Ah, possibilities. Yes, we can do this. This is possible. Okay, we're free from the past and the old. And you look over the edge and down below you, getting smaller and smaller, and being encompassed by the earth as all the dark and heavy energies, the beliefs and the shame and guilt and the fear and the failure and the not enoughness and all of it. And you're now turn and you look up and you agree to never look back, to never reclaim or remember, to never retell, to never bring it out, claim it, and re-imprison yourself to it. I trust, and you move forward on this current. It looks and feels like a gentle river. Moving forward, you trust, and it expands how you feel. You trust, and it feels good. You say, I give myself permission to be free of all of those thoughts and beliefs, all of those emotions, pacts, agreements, all of those attachments. And as you give yourself permission, you receive this overwhelming empowerment. It's a wave of light and energy. It downloads into you. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I accept. And you feel yourself release from even more enabled. You feel you can direct where you're going now. I'm willing to step back into that. Yes, I can feel it. You begin to move and you feel hope. Okay, I'm going to make an intention. What is it I would love to feel, to see, to experience, to live, to watch grow in this new earth, the new reality, the new me? Feel the inspiration pouring to you and through you. Breathe it in, let it move through you, inspire you. Bring all that old energy, all the wisdom, all the gifts from the pain, and let it mix with this inspiring, infinite potential, and let it birth within you ideas. Oh, that would be wonderful. And you rise a little higher. That would be amazing. Feel as if you're flowing and floating faster and faster. You've picked up a current. You're moving through the most beautiful cloudscapes. You're willing to trust your own inner direction and guidance. I accept. What's next? You're focused in the moment, moment to moment, letting go, harmonizing. You move into the rainbow. You transcend all of the past. Rising up. Now you see and feel this beautiful balloon. It expands until it's this vast and amazing light structure. Your light chariot, your Merkaba, your light body is spinning and glowing, releasing and receiving in an infinite flow, harmony, transcendence, forgiveness. You understand and begin to connect with your purpose, the meaning. All of those confusing moments, all the things you didn't understand why, begin to take shape. The pieces of the puzzle come together, and you're bathed in wisdom, riding effortlessly this rainbow in your exquisite light body. Love, reverence. What is possible? Give me a taste, give me guidance, connect me, give me the GPS coordinates of my most optimal reality, my most optimal life, the optimal thoughts and feelings and people and actions and peace and joy and bliss and abundance and serenity, happiness and joy, reverence. Awakening my abilities. I see, I hear, I feel, I taste light languages, energies, my blueprint, doors to the fields of abundance. I hold the keys. I love myself. I accept myself. Look at the powers I have. Look at the skills I have. Look at the freedom I am. Oh, I want this. I want me. I'm ready for me. Forming now those harmonious energies, connecting the possibilities, the doors opening and unlocking around you. You rise, continuing to accept, and you rise higher. Revelations flow to you and through you as you tap into your higher skills, your higher selves. Your full light body comes online, your wisdom. You feel one, transfiguring, illuminated. What's possible beyond that? I'm ready to hold the space for freedom and possibility. I accept. Thank you. More, please. You expand. Appreciate. Reverence. Blissfully floating in an indescribable pleasure. Delicious peace, savoring the flows and the currents and the energies. They flow through you. You are the artist. You are the creator. Create, paint, pure consciousness, pure enlightenment, pure power to create and paint your life. You are here. Do it now. Play, receive, flow, and glow. Now, as you paint the picture, you play with the possibilities, you receive imaginings, feelings, sensations, visions beyond anything you could have imagined, and energies you know hold within them truths and possibilities and realities you couldn't even tap into yet. You receive them with graciousness. You feel abundant and alive. And now you begin to take each of these delicious energies and direct it directly into your light body, into your chariot, into your mind. Direct it into your emotions, into your body, your cells, and your DNA. Take this new reality, anchor it down into your feet, into your bank account, into your house and your bed and your clothes, and take these energies and pour them into a funnel and drink this formula, this secret elixir to create the reality, the timeline, the new earth of bliss, joy, and your optimal purpose, aligned with your highest good, enjoying your greatest pleasures, using your greatest gifts, appreciating, receiving, giving, flowing, infinite possibilities, pure bliss in each moment. This and something better, this and something higher, this and something deeper, all aligned with my highest good, my soul signature frequency, my soul blueprint, my mission, my divine plan. Now feel it as you and your awareness comes back into this moment. You're glowing as it moves through your belly and you digest it and absorb it. It begins to move into your cells. You've breathed it in and it's moving into your blood, through your lungs, and being delivered to every cell and every muscle and every brain, every organ. And it's moving into each of your subtle body, your spiritual anatomy, your chakras, and your subtle bodies, and into your mind. This new reality, new blueprint, new plan, new coordinates, new codes, everything required for you to tap in, turn on, tune in, step in, align to, and emerge in your optimal reality. Drink it in and feel it moving through your mind and anchoring new thoughts and beliefs, new vision in your inner eye, new sensitivities in your bodies. Feel the vast clarity in your mind, the clear, powerful energy all around you. And now you take a deep breath. I am the master of my reality. I have chosen my timeline. I anchor it now. Push it with your breath and your intention down into your root, through your feet, out into your reality, into Gaia, into nature, into all of the earth. This or something better is available to you because I have accepted it. I have let go and harmonized with it. I have transcended and become one with my power and my compassion and my ability to see the opportunity, the strength, the diamond, the doorway, and the light. Through every step of this journey, from now to the reality I now am permanently connected to, I ask that my higher self and those parts of me in that reality now accept my requests, continue to guide me. I will open my receivers and continue on my path up, up, up. I look up. I am the light. I am the light. I release the darkness that was within me. Allow Gaia to feed it back to me as power and strength and wisdom, and diamonds and gold and silver, and abundance and possibilities and beauty. I am that I am. Take a deep breath in. Put your hand on your heart and your solar plexus. And relax completely into your body. Move your hands down over your belly and your legs. I accept and love myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now run your hands gently and lovingly up your arms. And then cup and hold your face. Allow yourself to be seen and accepted. Look at yourself and within yourself adoringly. Cup your face with loving adoration, absolute acceptance, respect, and love, your love. Now receive that love into your hands. Cup your hands together and hold them in front of you. I am the receiver of infinite potential, divine love, and guidance from my highest good. I am that I am. Ea Escher Ea. Now raise your hands up in front of you, over your head, and pour, release what you hold in your hands. Let it pour down over your crown, your body, through your mind and your emotions. Receive, relax, and reintegrate. This recalibration and alignment and attunement is yours. It's there. The more you reaffirm it and reconnect it to it, the stronger it will become, the easier it will be for you to listen to it, access it as often as possible. Go to bed within it, dream with it, meditate within it, describe it, say it, speak it to the sun, to the moon, to the flowers, to your feet, to your clothes, to the mirror. And now give yourself a big hug and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being this beautiful and amazing being who is here right now, willing to release the low frequencies, to rise above, to master your realities, to be the beacon of light that holds acceptance, willingness, harmony. Thank you. Thank yourself. And feel that gratitude deep, deep within you. Now send it out. Who else is ready to have it? Who else is there for you to send it to? Send it to your body and to your past. Send it to your bed and to your computer. Send it to your house and to your friends and your family. Send this high frequency of love and acceptance to everything, everywhere. And then accept that they may accept it and they may not, and that that's their right and their choice, and that I'm free to choose and that they're free to choose, and that everyone can pass through this portal and choose their reality. But I choose the reality of this. Now think of a thought or a feeling or a light or a symbol that you experienced and anchor it in, and that will be your touchstone. That will be your touchstone. That will be the energy, the thought that will connect you back to this. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I feel so blessed. Enjoy your joy. Repeat the journey. Share the journey. Unhook yourself. Let Donna know at support@nanakasha.com if you would like the scale. This one here, she'll send it to you. You have permission to share it, to print it, to laminate it, to download it. Use it to tune yourself in, to free yourself. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Namaste. We give great thanks to this Infinity Healing Chamber, to the Light Body Council, to our higher selves, to our guides, to our bodies and our body elementals, to our I Am Presence and our soul blueprint. We're so, so grateful for this releasing and cleansing, this revealing, this connection to the truth of who we are, to the next earth, to the new timeline. I'm ready to be the seed. I'm ready to be nurtured. I'm ready to walk through this with trust and willingness, with acceptance, grace, harmony, and gratitude. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and the gratitude and acceptance, the harmony, and the transcendence go with you with every breath, step, thought, with everyone you touch and everything you think. Your energy creates your reality, creates my reality, and it helps or hinders, or it supports, or it drags down. Be on the path. Thank you so much. You're all so beautiful. Namaste. Ciao. Let's see, I gotta go here. Let's see, DJ said, thanks, everything I need to hear right now. Well, thank you, I'm so glad. And Caroline, what happens to all the people who are not consciously creating and they don't know to think consciously? Will they reach higher states? Everybody's being dragged through this, essentially. And so there's no way to not wake up. It's just how you do it, how painful it is, how long you stay in the fear, and what you choose in each moment. So if you have a day that's challenging tomorrow, don't wake up the next day and say, oh, well, I've just doomed myself to hell. Or my parents, even my kids only tolerate me talking about this stuff so much. There's only so much I can say to them. So I send them the light and the love, and I raise my vibration, because when I raise mine, my children are affected. Those I love are given that energy. So everyone is, in every moment, has an opportunity. And if they're not consciously doing it, don't be in fear for them or about them. Trust them. Send them energy to lift them up, that they are powerful, that they can choose, whether you say it out loud or not. That's how you help, okay? Hi, Morgan. Thank you so much for your incredible generosity with your time and healing. Much love. Mwah. Love, love, love. Thank you for all the hearts, everybody. I wish these little beautiful things stayed once we end the stream, but they don't. And again, have a beautiful and blessed day. I'll share this card with you as we end. I can't see what it looks like here. This is from the Sacred Geometry deck, and it's called The Kiss. And it's about this unity, this union that we're moving into. So it might give you a good vibe or a good vision to hook into. We can kiss our new reality and kiss our new selves and come together. Bye-bye.